in this series of videos, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to create IK rigs and IK retargeters from scratch. Just going through this process and what you're about to learn really is going to be bigger than you think. You're going to be able to bring in any animations from anywhere and put them through your rigs and retargeters and use them inside your projects. We'll be creating one for Mixamo, for Unreal 4, and then Unreal 5 Mannequin. You already have a retargeter through Daz to Unreal. This is going to be quite a deep dive. You're going to be learning a lot. You're going to find out what it takes to bring an animation to life, basically. So buckle up, Buttercup. Right, so go ahead and create yourself an account at Mixamo, and what we're going to be doing is downloading our character first. I'm just going to be using the default YBot. You can use whatever character you want. It's not going to make a difference in what you're learning. So just grab a character and then go ahead and download. And then for animations, I am specifically looking for something kind of crazy. And here it is. All right. Now, this is pretty crazy. And the reason why I'm picking this is because it's pretty crazy. If we can successfully retarget this to anything you want, Mixamo, Daz, Studio, UE4, UE5 Mannequin. So that's the reason why I'm grabbing this. So go ahead and download. We're going to leave everything at default except for the skin. We'll be choosing without a skin. That way we're downloading just the animation. And then click download. All right, and then I'll meet you inside of Unreal. Now, these are the same files that we have been using all along. So this is picking up directly from our last project. Not that you have to do that. I'm just letting you guys know there's nothing special going on here. I've gone ahead and created myself a Mixamo folder. And what I'm going to do is grab the skeleton, which is the character, and just drag it over here into the content. All right, so do not select a skeleton. That way Unreal Engine's going to build one for us. And then no animations at this time. And then everything else is at default. So just click import. Okay, you're given a couple of material files, and then we have a skeletal mesh, we have a skeleton, and then we have a physics asset. Okay, now let's grab the dance and drag that in. And you can see that it automatically selects the YBot skeleton for us. And let's see here, anything special? Nope, this is all default. And then just double click the animation. Make sure it came across right. All right, that looks good. So that's your challenge. We're going to be copying this. It's going to be fun. Now, before we start diving in and creating these things, let's go ahead and just step into the classroom just for a second, okay? And let's talk about our retargeting pipeline. What is it? All that other stuff. What are we doing? So the very first thing that you're going to create is an IK rig. And then after you create an IK rig, then you can create an IK retargeter. And what that's going to allow you to do is to create animations in FBX format. Now an IK rig That's basically a body part map, okay? So like you're going on a trip and you're looking at your map and you're trying to figure out, oh, I got to go from A to Z. So that's how I do it. Well, that's how the IK rig communicates, is it communicates in body parts. And once we map all of those body parts out, we're going to be creating a full body IK solver. And then we're going to be adjusting joints, because you'll see right off the bat, right as soon as we out of the gate create this IK rig, the joints are all really kind of screwy. So in adjusting those joints, we're going to be looking at 3 particular items that we can adjust. One's rotation stiffness, preferred angles, and then limits. Now, once we have our IK rig, we can actually create an IK retargeter. And so we're going to be doing that for our source IK, which is Mixamo. And then we're going to be doing it for our target IK, which is going to be Unreal 4 and Unreal 5 mannequins. And then we already have a target IK rig for the DAZ figures. That's part of the DAZ to Unreal plugin. And then once we create these animations, you're going to be able to use these animations on anything. Unreal 4, Unreal 5, DAZ figures, Mixamo. You'll understand once we get through all this, really it's going to unlock a couple of doors for you guys. You're going to be able to make animations work for anything, from anything to anything. So, all right, enough of the classroom. You in the back, wake up. Now, the first thing that we're going to be doing is creating an IK rig. In order to do that, we need a skeleton. And during the course of these videos, you're going to be creating quite a few IK rigs. And so you're always going to need to reference back to the skeleton whenever you're creating one of these. And so to create one, you're just going to right click in the open area, animation, IK rig. And then it's going to ask you, who do you want to make an IK rig for? And the first one that we're going to be making it for is going to be Ybot. So we'll name this IK underscore Ybot. Okay, and let's go ahead and open that up, and then you can see it has Ybot right here in our viewport. All right, so over here on the left is our hierarchy. That's all the bones. We are going to be grabbing those and mapping them out, and then they're going to be creating their map over here. So the very first thing we need to do is set our retarget root. And that is going to be either the pelvis or the hips, whichever one your skeletal mesh has. So go ahead and select the hips, and then you're going to right click, set retarget root. And then you can see over here in retarget root, we have our hips, okay? All right, now we're going to start creating chains. A chain is just a set of bones as they make up like an arm, okay? And we're going to go ahead and start off with our spine. So we're going to go spine 1, spine 2, or spine 1, spine 2. And then right click. You are going to new retarget chain from selected bones. All right. And then we're going to be naming ours all uppercase. Some people name them all lowercase. Some people put them all uppercase. Doesn't matter. You just have to make sure that you're creating your rigs the same so they're able to talk to each other easily. All right. And then boom, there's our first chain. Now we're going to be doing the same for the neck. New retarget chain from selected bone. And in order to make this easier, we're going to go ahead and set up a hotkey. All right, so come over here to Edit, Editor Preferences, and then in the Search type in bone chain, and that's going to bring up a keyboard shortcut. I've gone ahead and made mine C. You can make yours whatever you want, okay? And then just go ahead and type that in, and then close this. And so now when we do our next one, as in head, I'm going to hit C on my keyboard, and then there we go. All right, so let's go ahead and select. Let's keep consistent here. Let's keep with our left arm, but first we need to hit these. They're called clavicles, even though Mixamo calls them shoulder, left and right shoulder. We're going to call them clavicle because that's the naming convention that Unreal uses. So let's go ahead and type C. Same thing for the right clavicle. All right, and then let's go left arm, left forearm, left hand. And that's just going to be called left arm. And then same thing for right arm, right forearm, right hand. Okay, now let's grab all of our fingers. Now, you're going to see when you're creating your IK rigs, there are going to be some bones that we're just going to ignore and totally not use. And that's okay. As you'll see, the animation is still going to transfer right. And for this Mixamo, well, for any character, you're going to have some of this happening. Some are called twist bones. I don't use those at all. There are others that do. You'll see from as we're doing our retargeting that you can do just fine without them. So the bones that we're not going to be using on the Mixamo character are actually the very end bones of the fingers. And that's really a nub as you're making bones. That's kind of what that is. So we're not going to be using those. We're just going to use thumb 1, 2, and 3. And we're just going to be calling this left thumb. Same thing for the index. Now, the good thing is, once you do this, you're never going to have to do it again. And you can tell how much easier it is with our hotkey, right? We're just moving right along. Okay. Now let's do our leg. And we're going to be doing the thigh, the shin, the foot, and the base, which is really the ball. Okay, I think that is it. So what you're going to see over here is you'll see a start bone and an end bone. If you've screwed up for whatever reason, you don't necessarily need to just junk that chain. You can actually get in here and set your starting bone and your end bone. All right, so there's a couple of ways to kind of skin the cat here. All right, so that takes care of mapping out our bones. What we're going to be doing next is creating an IK solver. All right, and just like when we were creating our chains, we needed to select a retarget root. We're going to have to do the same thing for our IK solver. So let's add a new solver. We're going to do a full body IK, and it's telling you right here what you're missing. You're missing the root bone. So at that point, you're going to right click on the hip or the pelvis, whichever it is for your figure, and you are going to set root bone on selected solver. Okay. Now it's telling you, hey man, you're missing goals. And what is that? A goal is what's at the end of each chain. So for your arms, it's going to be your hand, both hands. For your feet, it's going to be the ball. Okay. So come down here, click on your left hand, right click, new IK goal. And you can see that now our full body IK is lit up like a little bing, 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 bing. And it's saying, okay, good, you're good to go. So now let's do the rest of our body. So let's grab the hand, right, new IK goal. And then left foot. And then right foot. Right, now what we need to do is establish these IK goals over here in our chains. So for the left arm, select the left hand goal. For the right arm, right hand goal. Come down for the feet, left leg, left toe base, right leg, right toe base. Whatever it's called on your skeleton. Okay? It's really the ball. Okay. Now you have your IK goals set. You have your new solver. And so this is what you get. All right? So as you're moving your figure around, you get movement throughout the body. Now, right now, this movement isn't really nice, but that's okay. We're going to be taking care of that next. Now, in this next part, we're going to be adjusting settings for some bones and some joints. If you right-click, our first one's going to be the hips. So I encourage you to move your foot IK up a little bit so that the hip gets tweaked. You need to make sure that you've selected full body IK and then select the hips, right click, and you're going to add settings to selected bone. And then you're going to see a new input here. Go ahead and click on that. And what that's going to do is it's going to open up, click on the details. It's going to open up a whole new menu over here. We're going to have stiffness, we're going to have limits, and we're going to have preferred angles. So our first one is going to be stiffness. And we're going to set that to 1. Now watch the hips. All right. So see how quickly they kind of even out. Now we're going to be doing that for the spine, for the legs, for a couple of bones here. So we're going to do the same thing that we did with our bone mapping. We're going to go ahead and set a hotkey. So let's open up Editor Preferences. and go into bone setting. And you're going to see there you can enter your hotkey. I'm going to put mine as S and then just close this. And then select the spine, type S, and then I'm going to put in a value of 0.85. Spine 2. .95, and then the next spine. Now you don't have to memorize these settings for your bones. I'll be giving you a full page that you can go ahead and copy at the end of this. Now let's go ahead and do our clavicles. That's going to be a 1. And let's do our right clavicle. And that's going to be a 1. Okay, now if we grab the foot and we bring it back, you can see that we're having a problem with the knee joint there. It's actually bending kind of the wrong way. Now that's going to be on the shin that we apply this setting. And it's going to be down here under preferred angles. So you need to check it on. And then you have X, Y, and Z. I believe this is X. So let's type in 90. Let's type in -90. There we go. Okay. Sometimes you got to be smarter than the menu. It's not often I am, but sometimes. And we're going to go ahead, and I just like moving the joints so I can see it totally deform. That way, when I set in my value, I know what's going on. I think this one's going to be, no, this one's going to be -92. Okay. Okay. Now what we're going to be doing is setting these for the feet. So I like bringing the foot way up. And it's going to be on the left foot. We're going to be doing limits. And we're going to be on X. And so our minimum is going to be -80. And then our max is going to be 50. Oops. And we want to be out of free, and we want to be on limited. And there you can see the foot changes right there. Same thing for the right foot. Okay, and then to reset your skeleton, just hit reset. And I believe we have one more. If we tweak this arm, yeah, we can see that the elbow is kind of going in a bad direction. And that is going to be on our forearm bone. And that's going to be a preferred angle. And let's just type in some values and see what we get. Ah, there we go. I grabbed the right one. Go figure. think this one's just 90. Nope. Negative 90. Nope. Not gonna be either. Oh, I gotta set the. See, I'm setting myself up for failure. Going, oh, you just got to be smarter than the program. And look at me, I'm being totally more stupid than the program. There we go. Okay, now our elbows are set. Okay, good job. So now you've set your figure up with a full body IK, and now when you're kind of moving that figure, it's not looking completely wrong. Things are moving in the direction that things normally move. Don't forget, go ahead and save. You want to be saving a lot here.